What's up, Mushroom Fam? It's Gary with Fresh from the Farm Fungi. Today's video, I wanted to talk about what growing mushrooms has taught me about life. So we're getting ready to get our building delivered next week, and it's given me a little bit of anxiety. So I had some time to kind of think about where I've come since the beginning, and it really, is easy to compare your growth, or my growth, I should say, compared to a mushroom and the mycelium. So before I start the video, I wanted to do another multiple choice question. I really like doing these, and I think it helps, engage the audience. So I'll post a picture right here, and if you know the answer, you can comment below, or just wait until the end of the video. What type of mycelium is present in this picture? Is it A, rhizomorphic, B, tomentose, C, cottony, D, stringy? All right. So the first thing that growing mushrooms has taught me about life in general is how to be resourceful. So resourcefulness in general is going to help you out in life, in business, and especially in growing mushrooms. And, I can look around me right now, and a lot of people get hung up on, the specific tools or different types of equipment, and all you need to produce a podcast like this is a microphone and an iPhone. So being resourceful is going to pay off in the long term. So in the beginning, when I started growing mushrooms, I couldn't even afford to buy grains, so I ended up using sawdust for my grain spawn. And this worked really well because it minimized my contamination, where if I would have started with grain, invested even $100, which I didn't have, and then got contamination, I believe that it would have been, really hard to continue going forward. So for everyone who's just starting out, just try to see what's around you. Maybe in your region, there's a coffee factory or like a bistro that's throwing away free coffee grains, and you can use this to supplement your grow. Or another example is to obtain that sawdust, I had to search for a bunch of different sources in Denver, and I ended up meeting a lot of woodworkers who are super friendly, and they provided me with free sawdust. So literally the beginning stages of our mushroom farm, I was just using free substrate and lots of time and effort that I had available to learn. So the first thing that mushrooms taught me was how to be resourceful. The second thing, which is probably the most important aspect about growing mushrooms, is time management, and also patience can be tied in with that. So mushrooms never stop growing. If you ask any mushroom farmer, they're gonna tell you that you have to have really good time management skills in order to be successful at growing mushrooms. For me, it took a while to adopt a very strict schedule. My wife, she helped me a lot in the early days because I was spending 10, 12, 15 hours a day just never ending, doing all the daily tasks. And it took about 3 or 4 months to figure out a manageable schedule. And then the trick was just following that schedule. So my advice is get within your comfort zone and then try to cram all of your workload into either the first part of your day so that the second part can be more relaxing, or if there's anything that comes up, you'll be able to correct that in the second half of your day instead of, going over your time and just spiraling out of control, which can easily happen. So time management, second most important thing. And then I guess patience can be associated with the time management. So one of the hardest parts about growing mushrooms the first time is just waiting. So a lot of people, they will, either get contamination and then try to carve it out and use that instead of restarting. and that can be associated with lack of patience or just, moving too many steps ahead because you don't have the timeline completely thought out, or just jumping ahead, which a certain step like grain spawn, it's going to take just as much time or longer to inoculate an agar wedge into a bulk substrate bag. So time management, patience, and I guess this applies to my life and my business because there's certain levels and there's certain checkpoints as our business evolves that if I jumped too far ahead, I feel like it would fail or it would just take just as long. For example, when we bought our new property, or when I started off growing mushrooms in a little 4x4 tent, that I feel like was the appropriate level of expertise I was at. But I've seen more and more mushroom farms start off right away getting 2,000 square foot buildings, and they don't have the foundation to manage that type of a facility. So jumping too many checkpoints ahead can be detrimental in business and life, and as well as just growing mushrooms in general. The first thing was resourcefulness. The second thing was time management and patience. And the third thing that mushrooms taught me was cleanliness. So order, routine cleaning, creating a happy environment for the mushrooms is all very important in life in general. So you can tell right away if you're not cleaning, you're going to get contamination, and that could be equivalent to distractions in life or just random events that happen because you're not in order with your business. So what does it take to grow healthy mushrooms? Daily, if not weekly, cleaning. So that's deep cleaning, like from the ceiling to the floor. You're going to start noticing contamination if you're not cleaning properly. So it's easier to be more organized and get your cleaning done up front than it is to play catch up. So cleanliness is extremely important. It's going to create healthy mushrooms. Cleaning your environment, like your house, is going to, create health for you in general. So it's just a good idea and a good philosophy to have cleanliness in your mushroom grow and in life in general. And then the fourth aspect that growing mushrooms has taught me about life is the Kaizen philosophy, or continuous growth. So if you grow mushrooms, once again, you'll notice that they never stop growing. So whether it's transferring it from an agar petri dish to a grain spawn to bulk substrate to outdoor beds, they will continuously expand. And I feel like that's also an important part of business. One of the biggest challenges is moving to a new facility or expanding your operations. And at first, it seems kind of scary. It can be anxious. Right now, I'm just, very jittery, very excited as well. But I feel like jumping to that next level is important because then you get complacent and, your customers will ultimately suffer from you not growing your business. So just like mushrooms need more space, I feel like at my previous facility, I was running out of space, and it just made sense to, take the leap to the next level. I hope that makes sense. If there's anything else that I missed about mushroom growing, mushroom cultivation, and life, comment in the comments below, and I guess I can go back to that question. So what type of mycelium is pictured above? A, rhizomorphic, B, tomentose, C, cottony, or D, stringy. So the correct answer is rhizomorphic growth. So this is the strongest growth, and in order to get to a rhizomorphic growth, you have to select for the healthiest aspects of the mycelium on the agar dish. So that can also kind of be equivalent to your business or life in general. You want to select for whatever you're succeeding at. So for me in particular, I really enjoy lab work. I have a laboratory background, so I've really dug hard into, breeding and culture maintenance and selling our cultures. I did release a bunch of new batches on our Etsy. So check out our Etsy, Fresh Fungi. And until next time, much love.